is 9 away from the hour of 7. We have news coming your way at the top of the hour, but as you know, we like to keep you on top of things across our region. So right now we are heading to Guyana to give you an update there, as Shane says. We are going to give you an update on the Guyana elections because we've heard about, so many situations of unrest. So we want to take the time to let you hear from our guests this morning. So let's introduce our guest at this time. Want to make sure that I get that information right. Gail Teixeira, executive member of the PPC, former minister and MP, former PPPC, my apologies, former minister and MP, former chief whip candidate for the PPPC. Good morning to you, and thank you so very much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me on your program, and morning to all the Barbadians and other Caribbean people listening. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Pleasure. What can you tell us about the state of things now? It's been a long time since March, and still no clear decision on who leads Guyana as a government at this time.
Well, it's 136 days today. And so as Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said yesterday in a statement that this has been a long soap opera evolving. That is pregnant with real dangers for Guyana and the larger Caribbean community. It isn't an issue that we don't know who the winner is. We do. We do know as Guyanese who the winner is, and the winner of the recount, which was held with the CARICOM as the legitimate interlocutor and observers, that in the recount of 2,339 ballot boxes, the People's Progressive Party, Civic, won the election with 15,416 votes more than the government, the governing party right now. And if you add that to the small parties who are in opposition to the government as well, of about 8,000, they've lost the government by 23,000 votes, 24,000 votes. That the issue is not who won. The issue has been the efforts by the government with officials in the Guyana Elections Commission, if you could believe that, totally unprecedented, to derail the elections and to bring out fraudulent figures that even all the international observers and CARICOM have stated that they're fraudulent, and to install a government that has not won the election. So that this is where we're at now, where the chief elections officer has on several occasions, in fact on 4 occasions, produced fraudulent results, and on 4 occasions has refused to comply with the orders of the chairman of the Elections Commission to produce the results based on the recount. As you know, too, that as of Tuesday, the government went back to the court, the High Court, to rubbish the CCJ rulings and using the recount results to declare the winner of the elections. And so we're in a very serious situation as a result, of course, the threats of sanctions on Guyana, in particular suspension of visas, which has been hanging over us for the last 130 odd days, has now come to fruition. And regrettably for our people, regrettably for Guyana's image in the wider world. But that's I tried to, as quickly as possible, give you a nutshell. There is no doubt about who. There's no doubt about who won. The issue is getting to the declaration so that we can swear in the legitimate government of Guyana.
Yeah, you were talking about the suspension of visas there. We saw that story with the U.S. Calling for there to be a swift declaration of the results. We heard our ambassador to CARICOM, Barbados' ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency David Granger, speak about the situation in very similar tone as you are speaking here now. How much longer do you think that the ruling party right now, will run this out? Because I mean, you said it's well over 100 days, well over 130 days.
Yeah.
How much longer can they keep this up before some proper declaration is made?
Well, I can't say how long they'll try to keep it up. I know that the pressure is increasing on them, and when the CARICOM, Dr. Gonzalez, and your Prime Minister, Maya Motley, who we greatly respect for having the courage to say to the Guyanese officials, you know, the truth hurts. They didn't win. And she has been a powerhouse in our country and loved for her forthrightness and principled manner in which she led the CARICOM and the CARICOM at that time. And we're very pleased with also Dr. Gonzalez taking a very righteous position defending the democratic will of the people of our country, particularly where the government and Mr. Granger as the president have been attacking everybody internationally and regionally, including your Prime Minister and Dr. Gonzalez, former Prime Minister Owen Arthur, and former Prime Minister Bruce Golding, for example, on the basis of sovereignty of Guyana. And I just want to emphasize that sovereignty, according to our Constitution, is the will of the people. Sovereignty belongs to the people of our country, and they have spoken on March the 2nd and have been dragged through this process. Regrettably, because of the governments and the officials key officials in the Guyana Elections Commission have been trying to steal the elections and have been trying to derail, and the word that has been used by Dr. Gonzalez is hijack the elections. How long will it continue? I hope it will not. The case in the High Court, which will be heard on Friday, I hope that the court will stand by the law and the Constitution and the CCJ rulings and dismiss the case forthright. We suspect that the government may want to go to the Court of Appeal, and we may end up back at the Caribbean Court of Justice, which would be tragic and regrettable. But the government and the president seems to be very reluctant to listen to the Guyanese people and also to all the international bodies. Up to last night, Brazil came in, our neighbor who has been our friend for many decades, came forward and also called on the government to allow the recount results to be used for the declaration of results. In fact, let me just clarify, in the case before the court that they've gone to the High Court on is to not use the recount results, to abandon those and go back to results that the Chief Elections Officer gave on March the 14th, which were fraudulent by all observers, including CARICOM observers. So that we as a people are tired, but very, strengthened and strong, as we are not alone in our own country, and nor are we alone in the world, and especially with CARICOM.
We certainly hope that you get that resolved soon and that declaration so the country can move forward on to the next step. There are so many other things that we're battling right now. Thank you so much, Gail Teixeira, executive member. Yes. She's executive member of the PPPC, former minister and MP, former chief whip candidate for the PPPC. Thanks so much for talking with us at this time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And good morning, everybody, again. Bye-bye.